What is going on, everybody? Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Xbox Live Party Podcast. I'm your host, Redders TV, and joining me tonight we have I'm a Ghostbuster, we have Sentinel Gaming. I can't remember what you're called now. Is it Sergeant Sentinel Gaming?
Yeah, I had to change it. Yeah.
And we also have Luke Steele on the way. He's currently experiencing technical difficulties. Oh, he's back now. Let's see if he's working. He's not. Hey.
His mic is really on. He just lost his voice. Keep it on the down low.
So for tonight, Luke's going to be responding with paper and pen to our questions. So yeah, how are you guys? What have you been playing? Ash, you take it away.
Today I've been playing SpongeBob, which I'm playing right now. Quite good. Like I just said to you guys prior to going live, it's more of the same. Basically, they did the remaster and they've now done a brand new game. Still kind of plays like a remastered game, but bigger levels, slight new additions. You get like costumes for each of the areas and stuff to enter them. But it's not as fun as the last one, and I don't know why. I am only in the first world. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 7 worlds and like a hub world so that I can see so far. And I'm only like right near the end of the first world as such on my first sort of playthrough. That's the sort of main game I've been playing today. And other than that, this last week I haven't played a huge amount of anything really. I've played a few review games. Probably the best one was Rhythm Sprout. That's came out yesterday, I believe, or the day before, which is a rhythm-based sort of action game where you play as a sprout. No, not a sprout. You play as a onion who's called Sprout, which is confusing as it is. And basically, you have to push buttons, and it's like Guitar Hero or something like that, but like an action story game. But it's got silly humour in, it felt very British humour as well at times. So I quite enjoyed that. And I jumped into DCU Online very quickly on the last day of last month to get the max level raise that they were giving away for free, just to get one of the achievements as well. But I've kept it installed. I'm hoping I'll play it a little bit more soon. And yeah, to Timber, a Battle for Bikini Bottom reskin. Not so much. It looks so much better. Like you can tell they've built it from the ground up. It's not a remaster, a remake, but it's just more of the same, which isn't a bad thing. But there's just something off about it where it's just not something. Just doesn't feel as enjoyable just yet so far in the first zone compared to how much fun I had in the last game. I'm still enjoying it. It's just I had a really good time with Battle for Bikini Bottom. So,
fair dues. Nice. Sentinel, what have you been playing?
I did jump into Spider-Man Miles Morales. I never played it before, so I started playing it. I have been focusing a lot, though, recently on playing The Long Dark. It's a game by Hinterland Studios. It's a smaller indie game. And it's pretty much you surviving out in the Canadian wilderness against bears and wolves and shit.
Suck at it. I can never make it out the first 2 nights.
Yeah, it's all about resource management, and if you don't have a gun, it's extremely difficult to survive the wolves. If you don't have the rifle, surviving the bear is just not going to happen. I on my last save, I got killed because I got mauled by the bear 3 times within 15 seconds, so I had no time to heal myself. I had, and it sucks because I got off 3 shots with the revolver. I hit the bear twice in the face, once in the neck. He still charged me, still, mauled the shit out of me. And when my guy came to, the revolver was like 10 feet away, and of course he's staggering like he's been drinking Jim Beam all night, so I couldn't get to the revolver, and I got mauled 2 more times, and that was it for me. So, kind of bullshit, but you know how it is in The Long Dark.
Oh, mate, I suck at it. I tried playing it a while back, and I kept freezing to death at night time.
Yeah. It's definitely easy, especially, and it's like the blizzard will come out of nowhere.
And it doesn't tell you anything either, which sucks.
Yeah, you kind of got to figure shit out on your own. I got it when it was way back in early release when they first had it on the Xbox store, and it was part of the, where it's like an alpha. And so I bought it back then, and they've updated it so much since then. But you were exactly right. They don't hold your hand. You got to figure out a lot of shit on your own.
Yeah.
It's a good
I like
experience
those
though.
kind
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of guidance is nice though, just so you don't get,
Yeah.
decided on the first night.
Yep. Definitely.
So what have I been playing? Finished Gotham Knights. Still fucking hate it. I need to go back and do all the achievements. I'll get around to it. It's not on my to-do list. What else have I been playing? Oh, Age of Empires Definitive Edition on Xbox. My God, they've done such an incredible job with that game. If you haven't played it yet, I can't recommend it enough. I was always worried about them bringing it to console because I didn't know how well it would work on controller, because that's like the biggest issue with real-time strategies in it. But they've made it so easy, like so easy, and like you've got automated villager like assignments now, so you don't have to like keep finding idle villagers to put them to work. Like they'll just do it automatically. You set a preset, say for like say your main focus is on building an army. They'll focus on farming food and wood and gold, and they'll do that as a preset. So it like basically takes all the villages you've got and then sends them off in like almost like a pie chart priority order, which is really cool.
That's cool.
Absolute game changer for the game. Seriously, I really hope they bring Age of Empires 4 to console, because I thought Age of Empires 4 was great on PC. And there's no reason why the Series X couldn't play it.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about that too. A lot of people were really excited about it coming to Xbox.
Really good game.
I'm more excited for 2 than 4, because 2 is, bar Mythology, 2 is, in my opinion, the best one.
Yeah, 2's fantastic. And I didn't like 3 because I felt they tried to be too different. With the deck building and stuff. I hated that. And then 4 came along, and it was like 2, but without the bullshit of 3. It was great. Just with better graphics, and you know what I mean? It was really good. So I hope they bring 4 to console. But I hope that developers look at, how Age of Empires 2 has adapted controller, sort of controls for real time.
Well, they've already announced 4 is coming later this year. They're not releasing it at the same time. Yeah, they're just not releasing it at the same time, basically. So 4 is coming. I don't know the exact date. It'll probably be second half of the year.
I'll tell you what, I really wish EA would bring Command and Conquer back.
Oh, yeah.
And put that on console, because I think there is still love for real-time strategies.
Didn't they remaster Command and Conquer 2 a couple of years ago on PC, but they didn't bring it to console or anything?
I can't remember. Yeah, it's definitely a franchise that should come back, because Command and Conquer is great. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I played a bit of Hi-Fi Rush. Did I say that?
It's a busy month this month.
I'll tell you what I love about Hi-Fi Rush is you can tell it's a passion project. Do you know what I mean? Like you get these games that come out and you can tell that there's no real love for it. It's just being made because investors have said, "Look, make this game."
Yeah.
You get a game like Hi-Fi Rush, and you can tell that it's a passion project. Like everything is so beautifully designed and executed, and you could tell that a lot of thought went into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really get that with.
And they took a big chance, because everybody says, "Hey, you know what? The Evil Within 1 and 2, that's their jam." For them to take such a, they took such a risk with this game, having such a departure from what they were known for, and everyone loves it. So it's great to see that.
It's probably why
it's great to see the feedback being good in general online for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and everybody seems to have the same opinion of bar the PS trolls.
Even though a lot of them say it looks nice, it's only a handful that are being.
Yeah, but the Metacritic speaks for itself. It's just become a must play in it on Metacritic, which I think you only get once you hit 90 Metacritic. So
I did find out that Metacritic weights their reviews. Do you know what telling me the other day, which is shocking? Why does one place weight more than others? Like, why does, say, VGC's review count as 2 for the score? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So
it should be if you score it this, then that's the score for it. Do you know what I mean? The fact that certain publications get sort of preferential and their score can weight the final score baffles me.
That's bollocks.
Yeah, if someone gives it an 80, yeah, it's an 80. But why does that count as 280s? So if there's like an odd number, it'll score it lower or higher. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, got you.
You know what though? I think Hi-Fi Rush getting review bombed by PS fanboys it's kind of giving us a taste of what's to come. Starfield could be Game of the Year this year, and they're still going to be giving it 0s or 10s or 20s just because they're angry. And it's like, don't be like that.
To be fair though, this is actually the proper reviews that are weighted. The user reviews on Metacritic are by far the most pointless things known to man. They're just horrible.
Yeah,
they're just not well done at all, are they?
I was looking on there last week, and a lot of the negative reviews are actually positive reviews that people have scored incorrectly, which is daft. If you don't know how to use it, don't use it.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's 0 out of 0. Game is beautiful and plays really well. Fucking, what are you doing? You not see the
Jesus.
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. But yeah, it's a phenomenal little game, and I wonder if the reason why it went to Game Pass was because they wanted the security, knowing that it's so far away from what they've put out already.
It would go to Game Pass anyway because it's an Xbox game.
Oh, was it?
Hi-Fi Rush? Yeah, it's first party.
Oh, I thought it was coming to PlayStation eventually.
No.
Oh,
it was never one of the developers came out and said it was never coming to PlayStation. It had never been in the plans. So
that's crazy. Because it started development 4 years ago, didn't it?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago.
Well before Xbox bought them. So you would have thought they would have had some sort of PS variant going around. Well,
and we had talked previously about Xbox and Microsoft really needing a good piece of advertising. And having this shadow drop on Hi-Fi Rush, or having Hi-Fi Rush shadow drop on Game Pass out of nowhere, and no one knew about it beforehand, that's great advertising, by itself.
Yeah. And if they can also
clears up some negative stigma that could have been brought from the showcase. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sort of negates that in a sense.
Yeah.
BMG hits the nail on the head when he says Metro review of Hi-Fi Rush was hilarious. It was. They wouldn't score it high because there's been a period where Xbox didn't put out any games.
This game is great and you should score it higher, but Xbox haven't put many games out, so we can't give it a high score.
Oh, Jesus.
To be fair, though, Metro is the worst of the worst.
It was a Kotaku article, didn't it? It's horrendous.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, before we get into some topics for tonight, let's say hello to everybody that's in chat. We've got a friendly pest who's just come up. Cheers for joining us, buddy. We've got BMG, we've got Thimber, we've got the Ghost of Jinner, we've got Muppet, we've got Timmy. Who else have we got? We've got Sentinel, but he's on the panel. But yeah, cheers for coming and hanging out with us, guys. Appreciate you being here every single week. So yeah, let's get into some topics. Might as well kick things off with the the main topic of the show, which is Starfield is in a fully playable state from start to finish, despite not having a release date. Now, a lot of people want to draw a negative to this. I'm not really sure why. But yeah, apparently Starfield is playable from start to finish. I would imagine the time now between when it releases is purely for polish, which is great. I mean, that game needs to be polished because from what we saw at E3, Jesus. What do you guys think about the state of Starfield?
I mean, I think it makes sense from a Bethesda standpoint because I don't want them to. I have a feeling it's playable, but it's 15 to 20 frames per second. That's Bethesda's reputation, so that's what I expect. So what I think is they're trying for optimization. They're trying to get it where it's 30 frames per second locked, and they're it's playable now, but the frame rate bottoms out, so we need to make sure it's 30 locked. I think that's what they're doing.
I want to believe that it's going to be 60 FPS, but I just can't see it. Not after what
it's never going to be 60 FPS. That thing is going to be 30. Do you know what? It will be 60 FPS a month after launch when modders play with it, but it's not going to be 60 FPS from Bethesda. No, And then Bethesda are good and they make good games, but my God, like, remember when they couldn't put ladders in games, so someone had to, a modder had to put the ladders in. Like, give that man a medal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, I joked with my son because he's always complaining because Bethesda games are buggy. I said, you know, it takes a modder that's working at he's working at a convenience store. You know, and it takes him 30 minutes to do what all of Bethesda couldn't do in 3 months. You know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Do you know what? I honestly think they just go, why bother? Because someone's going to mod it in and we'll just nick it.
Yeah.
It's in our terms. I would.
The thing with Bethesda, though, like, they put out some of the most buggy games on launch out of any developer. Like, Fallout 4, horrendous. Fallout New Vegas, horrendous. And these games take months to patch to a point where they're working properly. But they always end up as Game of the Year contenders.
Yeah.
So,
it's still good games, right? In my opinion, as long as the bugs are comical and they don't ruin the game, then it's not that bad. And I honestly think, like, if they patch them out as well, it shouldn't be held against them. But it should in some aspect. But in the grand scheme of things, as long as they're not broken beyond repair, then it's just a game, isn't it? It's for fun.
Yeah.
So
I honestly believe the biggest issue with Starfield is going to be the creation engine, because that engine has fucking issues all the time, and they're still using it. Only now they're using like an updated version of it. I just don't think it's going to be 60 FPS as much as I really want it to be. I think it's going to be 30, possibly sub 30 in some scenes.
Yeah, I think the only way they're going to get it 60 FPS is if they hand over all development to id Software. I think that's it.
But then say that though, No Man's Sky,
you know what?
Sky, that's 60 FPS.
It's like then it would be running 120 frames per second at 4K with ray tracing. You know, because you know how id Software is. I mean,
I'll tell you, id Software, man, but had possibly one of the best engines in.
You know, because
it is very limited to that style of game, though.
Yeah.
As much as I love ID and their engine seems to be fantastic, no one else seems to use it, so it can't be that good. Do you know what I mean?
Could you imagine?
If you know how to use it, maybe.
Yeah.
Could you imagine an id Software Halo though? Like, could you? I think that'd be fantastic.
Oh, that would be.
I think 343 would have to look for new jobs.
Halo's going to Unreal now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they spent all that time building the Slipspace engine, and now they're going to just use Unreal anyway. It's like, you guys should have done this from the beginning.
This is what I don't get, because like they must have known that Unreal 5 was on the horizon.
Yeah,
like, they're in the know. Like, what on earth made them go, oh, let's completely ignore this really awesome new technology and use our own piece of shit to make this game, our flagship game, nonetheless.
You know, and it's like Coalition knows what's up. You know, Coalition was using Unreal Engine 5, and they're getting used to it. It's like, why would you not have 343 work with this? Why would you waste time building a new engine that you don't need? Just use Unreal Engine 5. Save yourself some time.
Oh, RIP Coalition as well after today's.
Yeah.
News. Oh my God, it's not going good, is it? For us.
We'll get into that a bit later.
Shadow drop another game, Microsoft. Just make us forget.
Yeah.
That's what we need. More shadow drops for the pain.
Quake 2. Quake 2. Let's go, Quake 2.
Give us a new... give us some more...
Do you guys still think that Starfield will come in the first half? I mean, the website says it's coming in the first half, but it's a bit weird that we still haven't had a release date yet.
I think it will, just because they've said they're going to do another showcase before E3.
Oh, okay.
And you wouldn't do a showcase before E3 if it was coming out in November, in my opinion.
Could you imagine if they withheld the release date and then did the showcases? It's like, yeah, by the way, it's available today.
You know what?
Might do. I doubt it though.
You know what? Phil Spencer should do like the ultimate troll on everyone and just come out and say, "I'm sorry to say this, but unfortunately, Starfield has been canceled," and give it about 5 seconds, and then just say, "No, I'm just playing it. It shadow drops today." Everyone will be like, "Oh, you motherfucker!"
The problem is though, because it's a physical release, they can't shadow drop it like you can with like Hi-Fi Rush, because that is literally going to be.
Well, of course you can. There's already so much hype; it's through the damn roof at this point.
I know
they don't need to hype it anymore.
Physical retailers would kick off if you shadow dropped it digitally, like a day before they got a copy. So
yeah, well, you remember how
we all know physical is dead. And
yeah, you remember when they shadow dropped the Sega Saturn? How pissed off retailers were about that shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably
read
one
the,
reason why the Saturn bombed, because retailers
Yeah.
were like, do you know what? I honestly think that is why, and I know this for a fact from one retailer because I used to go into like an independent store quite a lot. They don't want to support and promote Xbox as much as other consoles because of Game Pass. Because they're like,
Yeah,
well, why
makes
would I
sense.
when they're pushing people away from my shop? And I get that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes
But
absolute sense.
and also, like, even I went in and the guy said, well, the Xbox Series X is just like an upgraded Xbox One. It's no new, and it's like, no, you're totally wrong there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's all market PR, and PlayStation send like PR agents out to independent stores quite a lot.
yeah.
With Xbox, they don't. They're just sort of. I'm not saying they don't everywhere, but like the ones I've known, I've seen PlayStation. I used to work at one as well, an independent game store, and used to have the PlayStation reps come round, but you don't get that with Xbox, not in the UK anyway.
I think I've told this story before, but I have a friend who owns a game shop in the town, and he used to get Sony's reps, like going around there with like marketing, promotional material and stuff. And they went around there with the PS4 promotional material for NAC. And he had a copy of the game to play, and he played the game. And he said the controls for this are horrendous. And because he said that one thing, Sony refused to give him any more marketing material. It's crazy. Yeah. They refused to have any,
Well, not to say we got 2 Square Enix codes, and I wasn't the most polite about them. I didn't rip them a new arsehole, but I'm quite vocal about Square Enix shitty practices, and miraculously they've turned me down for every single one since. So,
big shout out to BMG for the £1.79 donation. Marvel Snap, best game ever.
Super chat.
We need
the only time we're going to say Marvel
that plays
best
that
game ever.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to keep like throwing money at us, you can say it as much as you like, and I'll listen. But I don't know. I think Starfield will be fine. I just I want it to be 60 FPS. That's my biggest concern.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll get a release day soon.
I completely get that. I think though that people do make a good point because of how open world it is and how much stuff is going on.
Yeah.
It's going to be 30 frames per second locked, even on someone who has a computer like Luke Steele. You're going to be lucky to get above 45. Yeah, because he has like the bat computer, so
Well, his computer's not that good because his mic don't work.
I bet he tripped over a cable or something and not noticed.
Did he not look on Twitter? If you want to do a podcast or you want to be a content creator, you can't have a cheap mic. You've got to spend £1 million on a mic.
Yeah, right.
Did you not see that last week?
You'll see later on Twitter. He'll show video of him throwing his computer out the window.
You know what? I wish Xbox had like. I'm just looking at BMG's thing.
Super chat. Once you go Marvel, there is no other rival. Fair enough.
Wow.
What a hero that man.
He's the hero we deserve.
Marvel need to start sending him free shit like T-shirts and stuff because he's always plugging Marvel Snap.
They should send him free like special cards and shit like preview.
Yeah.
Yep. You need to start that campaign on Twitter. Give BMG free shit, Marvel.
Right.
Plugging the shit out of your crap game.
So just to say, like, I'm playing this SpongeBob game, and I said it's a bit weird, right? You go into each of these little worlds to save your friends, right? And in this world, I just saved Mr. Krabs in the first one, but at the same place, you're talking to someone who's also Sandy. Like, so you're talking to Sandy, but you only take Mr. Krabs. It's like, why don't you take Sandy at the same time and save them both within like one level? But obviously, got to drag it out over loads. But it's just a weird type of plot. Like, I get the saving, that's cool. We go to different like time periods. Yeah, I get that. That's awesome. But why couldn't I just save them both at the same time when they were both stood next to each other?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I hated that about. I hated that with World of Warcraft because it'd be like, go over here and kill 15 of these. You go over there and kill 15 of them, and then you go back, and it's like, go and collect 30 brains from these, which are basically in the same area, the same mob that you've just killed. And I remember there was a quest at Hillsbrad where you'd have to go and collect 30 human skulls or something like that, or 25 human skulls. And you're killing humans and you're not picking up skulls. You're like, well, what the fuck are they? What have they got in their head? Like, there's literally no skulls. And then you drop the quest off. It's like, go back there and collect. Like, for fuck's sake, I was just there. Like, why? That's one thing I hate about that kind of quest design. Yeah,
classic MMO fetch quest. Do you know what? I love it. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. They're just so lazy. Can you take this note to my friend, please? Where is it? Oh, he's next door.
Yeah.
Oh, next door, ladybugger.
You know, that's one thing I liked about Fallout is like once you get the quest from someone, you can knock out like 10 quests within a very short period of time. You know, and you don't have to go back to them after you knock out one quest to get another one. You can have multiple quests going at the same time.
Yeah. In Lord of the Rings Online, they started doing something where you would, if you killed an enemy and it had an item for like a quest in that area you hadn't picked up, like collect 10 rags or something, or 10 rings or something off an enemy, it would automatically pop up and say, do you want to start this quest? So you don't have to run back and forth all the time trying to get these silly quests.
That's fair.
It's a good idea. It's like they're like region area sort of quests instead of like you have to speak to a specific person to complete them.
Because I like going to quest givers and stuff and picking up quests and then going off and doing the quests. I just don't like it when it's like go and do 2 quests in the same area, but they're different quests involving the same mobs. So it's like, well, why can't I just do both at the same time? You know what I mean? Especially if it's coming from one quest giver. Like, if it's 2 different quest givers, then fair enough. If it's one quest giver, he's like, go and kill these. You go kill them, go back. Go and kill more of these. It's like, for fuck's sake, why can't I just do that when I was there?
Yeah, just give me the whole list right now, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, let's take a look at our second topic for tonight, which is Phil Spencer has acknowledged that Xbox didn't release enough games in 2022.
No shit.
I don't really understand, like, because it's hard for me to jump on that bandwagon because there was so many new games that came to Game Pass. I mean, I know they're not exclusive, but we still had shitloads to play. So why is it really a massive issue?
You're literally talking to that loudest crowd, which is also the smallest. Like 90% of people that play Xbox didn't care that there was only like a handful of Xbox exclusive. They were playing Fortnite. They were playing other games. Do you know what I mean? Whatever's popular with your kids nowadays. Do you know what I mean? They're not playing.
I don't understand why it's an issue because, like, Jesus.
I was never bored on my Xbox last year. Like I always had more games than I could play. I mean, that's me not being an Xbox fanboy. That's me literally saying, like, when you add all the Game Pass releases up I played and I wanted to play, you add all of the third-party stuff that came, because barring Square Enix and a handful of sort of Japanese games, we did get quite a lot.
Yeah,
of the multi-plats and stuff.
But I find that there's enough stuff coming to Game Pass as is that it keeps you busy whilst you're waiting for like the bigger hits, you know, like the AAAs that come out. I mean,
these people moaning on Twitter and that though, they don't even subscribe though, they just moan.
Why is SpongeBob holding out his cock? Oh yeah, he is.
He's holding a microphone and he's singing.
What you see? I think honestly, gaming Twitter these days feels like you wake up and there's another bandwagon for someone to jump on, and it's exhausting, to be honest. I mean, it's happening again today with Redfall, or yesterday with Redfall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Redfall has to be always online.
You must have an always online internet connection, and it's a massive issue that Redfall has this, but nobody gave a shit when PS5 announced that GT7 needed an always online internet connection. No one cared. Well. Sorry?
Forspoken has to be online all the time as well.
Hogwarts Legacy requires an always online internet connection. Like
and I don't care. It's getting purchased.
Yeah. This shit doesn't matter. And yet people are like, oh, it matters because Xbox makes it matter. It's like, well, for fuck's sake, go out and touch grass. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I think it matters only to people who are way out in the boonies that they don't have any solid, reliable internet. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit, that was me, but back in the 80s, it's like 40 years later. I mean, everybody, it's like you have a guy way out in the middle of the woods. He still has reliable internet, so it's like, this doesn't make much sense. But no, I understand why they would say it if they're talking about like Ubisoft games, because Division 2, you got to have a constant internet. And I'm always having issues with Division 2, but it's because of the Ubisoft servers. It's not because of my stuff. So if Xbox is maintaining their servers, it shouldn't really be that much of an issue.
I saw one, though, and they were like, but what if I go out on holiday with my Steam Deck and I haven't got a good internet connection? It's like, play something else. Are you telling me you only have one game? Jesus Christ. I apologise, peasants, but you bought a Steam Deck. If you've got a Steam Deck, you've got more than one fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just baffles me. And it's quite obvious it's going to be like a very regularly updated, like, evolving narrative style game. It literally sort of spreads.
It is a game as a service, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to get regular updates. There's going to be like when it said like people just like pop up and stuff like that. It's like, well, yeah, you're going to need internet and stuff like that. People can jump in and out of your campaign at any time. You need internet connection for that. It's obvious. So
just to touch on what Sentinel was saying, Ubisoft are the worst for it because their saves are tied to the Ubisoft. Connect.
Yeah.
That's why Watch Dogs Legion and Immortals had massive save issues, like corruption save issues, because it required that always online connection.
Yeah. But then you've also got to remember, right, if you're playing on an Xbox One or a Series X and S, you always have to be online if you want to unlock achievements. So if you unlock achievements, you need internet for that. So it doesn't matter. Like, yes, there are places where your internet's intermittent. Yeah, it'll affect a couple of people. It's not the end of the world.
It's not.
Upgrade to fiber. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't get it. I think people literally just want the next thing to jump on with anything these days, to be fair. I mean, look at it. All the shit that's going on with Hogwarts Legacy and, Atomic Heart. People just love a bandwagon to jump on. If you buy this, you're supporting this. Oh, fuck off. I'm buying this because I want to play this. It's got nothing to do with your agendas. Fuck off. That's how I look at it. And that's not to say that I'm, against these people, but fuck me. Don't try and dictate what I play based on your fucking political agendas.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
And, we've seen the same shit for years, with Far Cry 5, with the ridiculous fucking narratives. And it's like, calm down. It's like, first of all, this isn't real life, so you guys need to go out and touch grass. Second of all, if you guys are this bent out of shape over this shit, you don't need to be going to Twitter. You need to be going to a therapist. It's like, because you guys have some underlying issues that you need to fix.
Yeah. As Spock said at the end of Star Trek 2, the needs of many outweigh the needs of... Yeah, it's true. It is very true.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
me to play this game outweigh all of you. That's what he's saying.
I mean, I guess if they can't play Redfall, they can always pick up like a PS Vita and play some, portable games that way.
But could you imagine what it's going to be like? I mean, Xbox has definitely turned things around. They're making more of an effort to put out games. Like, the narrative is changing.
But you're going to see more hate. You're going to see more hate from the PS fanboys towards Xbox because as they release more games and as that narrative goes away that Xbox has no games, they're pissed.
Another narrative to jump on.
Yeah, and they're going to be more aggressive. They're going to be more irate. They're going to be completely crazy about this shit.
And the problem is, you've got the trolls in the community. You fuckers know who you are if you are watching this.
They're all watching our show, aren't they?
Go out of their way to deliberately influence people, and that's what I don't like. That's what annoys me about Twitter, especially gaming Twitter, is that you get unbiased content creators, like us. We try and cover everything. But they get overlooked for the dipshits that just want to spread false information and just want to bash one console, and it's fucking exhausting, man. It makes me hate gaming. It makes me hate the gaming community for sure.
And it's rough when you got smaller people that have, maybe a few hundred or a few thousand followers. But when you have these bigger accounts, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 followers, saying this type of shit, it's like, you gotta. It's like, first of all, because of how much reach you have, you should be trying to bring the communities together, not create this division.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, enough of that depressing shit. Let's get into the next topic.
The fun topic. The fun.
This topic made me laugh, to be fair, when I was watching it. So there's a lot of political outrage about Microsoft using power saving options. Fox News came in pretty heavily with this, saying that they're pushing climate change onto our youth.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
Xbox has gone woke, but now that it has a power saving option, we're forcing climate change on our children. It was hilarious. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's the dumbest journalism I think I've seen since Kotaku. It's just horrendous.
Since Kotaku.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it. Did
you watch it?
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
I watched it. It was terrible.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
I can only take so much cringe per week.
Could be fighting over gun laws or drugs, but no. Let's attack Xbox because it has a power saving option.
Yeah.
Fucking ludicrous.
Yeah, it's not like when you switch it on the power saving mode, like Greta Thunberg, what's her face, pops up on screen and lectures you for 20 minutes. And it's like, will you give up your life to the cause? And you have to say yes to put it on. It literally just saves you money.
Some really low-hanging fruit in it. It's just
and it's like Fox News is saying this shit. Oh, climate change is like, have you seen our electric bills? We don't give a shit about climate change right now. We care about our electric bill going down from $700 to $600. How about that?
Yeah, it's mental. You see today that Shell just announced what was it, like 32 billion in profit?
It's 50-something billion.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
mental.
Honestly. And then they've got the balls to say it charges more for our gas and electric, saying prices have gone up and poor little guys can't afford it. And you're like, what?
There is no such thing as a cost of living crisis. There's a cost of greed crisis. That's the fucking problem. Everybody's trying to profiteer off this war in Ukraine.
Yeah, I know.
We don't even get the majority of our gas from Russia. We get it from Norway. And yet they're blaming the war in Ukraine and why our gas prices have gone up. Like, how? Mental.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, Fox just being Fox. Might as well move on to the next topic. Nothing really to talk about there. So Microsoft has raised the price of the Xbox Series X and S in Japan, which I was quite surprised, to be honest. I mean, we all knew a price increase was coming.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised they did it in the market where they have very little influence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what they would have done it in the US or UK, but they've hit Japan and like a market they're trying to break into still. And they've now given them the shaft. So I was quite surprised by that. What do you guys think?
I mean, I hope they did their research before they made a move like that, because like you said, if they're trying to break in, it doesn't make much sense to raise the price unless there's some kind of justification for it, I guess.
I believe it's still cheaper than PlayStation in Japan, though.
I think they've risen the price of both by 5,000 yen. I don't know what that works out in pound.
Yeah, I have no idea.
5,000 yen to pound. Hang on. 5,000 yen to GBP.
Apparently, after conversion, it's still cheaper.
£31.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, I can't remember who said it to me on Twitter, that they're saying that even after conversion, it's still cheaper than what we would pay for a console over here. So
yeah, it's still cheap, and it's still cheaper than a PS5 as well in Japan. So
how much is a PS5 in Japan?
Well, I don't know. Do I look like I'm Japanese?
Oh, yeah. Get on the Google. Ask the Google what it says.
Right, PS5 digital edition is 49,478 yen.
What's that in pound?
I don't know. Jesus. So you've got to remember.
My Google here, come on.
Everyone complaining about Xbox doing this. PlayStation already did this last year, the same amount.
Yeah,
because Xbox does it. It's bad, isn't it?
Well, actually, they put it up 5,500.
Yeah. All they're doing is reading the market, to be honest. Because the whole global economy right now is in
Right, so a
PS5,
PS5 is currently £385 in Japan.
£385.
Yeah.
Jesus. Just get it imported from there. I suppose even after import fees, it'd be cheaper than what you pay over here.
A Series X, hang on a second, is cheaper. And a Series X is £380.
That's crazy. That's like nearly £200 cheaper than what you'd pay over here.
Yeah.
Like 500. There's a PS5 like £500 now. 507 quid.
PS5. Console.
That's crazy.
£480.
I reckon you could probably get I reckon you could get a PS5 or a Series X and get it imported here and pay. It'll still be cheaper after import fees to get it.
You have to buy a power converter as well, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Unless they don't, I don't know, because nowadays a lot of stuff they all use the same sort of wattage nowadays, don't they? In the console, so you can use different plugs easier. Whereas before, I remember when I had a GameCube imported, I had to get like a big power brick to convert it back in the day.
Yeah, it's only the Americans that really have something different to us, and I suppose even Europe uses a 2-pin though. America uses a 2-pin. We use a 3-pin.
Yeah, it depends on the wattage of our stuff.
Wire. I don't think you Americans have a wire, is it? You just go live and like you're missing like a pin, aren't you?
Well, I mean, it's a 3-prong if it needs a ground, like for the higher wattage appliances, but I don't think for the consoles it's 3-prong. I think it's just 2.
Yeah, we ground everything. Everything's got ground on our stuff.
Yeah.
Because we don't like fires.
Right. I mean, yeah, some people over here, they don't have a problem with it dumping gasoline on barbecue grills and shit, so yeah, they don't mind fires over here too much.
If you do want consoles, you can get them all at Very at the moment. They've got Xboxes and PlayStations in readily available, both of them.
I think the shortage is over for both consoles, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's good. I was hoping to get a PS5 this year, but I didn't see what happens.
I was able to.
Makes me go want to grab this now.
I was able to just walk into a GameStop and buy a PS5, no issue.
Yeah.
So
I bought both for mine. My first one and my second one, I bought both of them, no issue. Everyone else seemed to be really struggling over here, but they text me. They're like, "Do you want one?" I'm like, "Yeah, go on then."
You find that a lot of the companies are like adding bundles to it to stop scalpers, or at least to not entice scalpers. But even scalpers have bought the PS5s now, apparently. So it's good. It's good that this shit's starting to.
I think the like bills raising across everything and everyone being skint probably has affected it as well.
Yeah.
If you can't afford to pay your gas and electric because that's tripled over your month, you're not going to go and buy a £500 console. You'll just play your old console.
I think scalpers are still able to get their money back by selling them to CEX. I think their prices are still ridiculous.
Extravagant. For any of you scalpers out there that happen to be watching,
20 of scalper audience, if you want a way out of your scalping.
Right.
No, they don't now. They buy cash for $350 now.
Oof.
That's dropped. They were paying over 500.
Yeah. Last time I saw one in Truro not that long ago for £650, brand new PS5.
Don't worry though. Don't worry, fans, because you're not going to get ripped off. You can sell your digital PS5 console boxed, obviously only boxed, and CX will give you the grand total of, what do you think, guys?
10p.
£93.
For the box alone?
No, for the whole console.
For the whole console.
Jesus.
£93. But they sell it for £360. Where does that work out?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I really hope that CEX goes into liquidation. They're such a scummy company.
Yeah. They're great for cheap DVDs, though. You can pick up DVDs for like 20p, which is great.
Maybe you can download them for free. So.
Well, you can, but before I would I had the internet, I used to go in with like £50 and buy about 50 DVDs at like once every sort of like 5 months and just pile them up on the counter, like all the series, because they used to sell like box sets of old TV series for like £2 a DVD, like a box set.
I haven't bought a DVD or a Blu-ray in fucking years.
No, I haven't either. I think the last one I bought was all the Studio Ghibli stuff.
I've done the old pirate out and fuck off the Toy Tuga now if I want anything.
Well, you're going to have to with Netflix.
Back to the good old days.
Netflix, aren't they? Getting rid of password sharing after saying that's what love is.
We do not condone piracy. We are against piracy. Except stuff.
Yep.
We don't condone others looking into piracy.
Yeah. Piracy is the devil. But fuck Netflix. I don't get how their password sharing shit's going to work. It's based on Wi-Fi, isn't it?
If you don't connect your device to your home Wi-Fi, I don't know how they check that. Maybe you have to set it up.
Yeah.
Every 30 days, it locks you out of your Netflix.
So, I share my account with my partner.
Yeah, she'd have to bring a ship. Yeah, she'd have to bring a ship round to your house before the 30 days is up. Log in.
That's shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Netflix, you know what though? No one, you shouldn't support Netflix because bar like Stranger Things, they don't support their original series. You get one season, it ends on a cliffhanger, and then they can't kill them off and go, well, not enough people watched them. It's like, no one's watching them because they know you're going to kill the fucker off after one season or 2 seasons.
Did you see what Matey said the other day? He said, oh, we've never cancelled a successful show. Well, you fucking have. Plenty.
Yeah.
Well,
people don't get a chance to get invested in these TV series because you're literally killing them after one series. What's the fucking point?
They should make them cheaper if they don't want to risk that much money on them.
Yeah,
well,
especially like the original stuff.
They cancelled the newest season of Glow during the COVID and they claimed it was because of COVID, but they were already filming it, so it couldn't have been not being watched because they were already greenlit the next one.
I'd rather they didn't kill it off. I'd rather they just sold it to somebody else and let them fucking deal with it.
Exactly.
Santa Clarita Diet. Did you ever watch that fantastic show with Drew Barrymore?
I've watched like 2 episodes.
The one where she was like a cannibal or something.
She was a zombie, yeah.
Yeah.
She becomes a zombie and then starts eating people. But it was fucking brilliant. And they killed it after 3 seasons. Left on
at least
a
they
really
got to 3.
cliffhanger. Yeah.
I
say we've never cancelled a successful show. Everybody loves Santa Clarita Diet. It was fantastic.
I wanted to watch that. Is it Mongolia one or something like that, or Genghis Khan one?
Oh,
but they cancelled it before I even started watching it. I was like, oh, I'm not bothered.
Really. That's why I prefer it when like shows that are successful on TV or other platforms that go to Netflix. I'm more inclined to watch those because they're not going to get fucking cancelled.
Yeah.
Peaky Blinders, I'm still working my way through that. Fantastic show.
Honestly, a lot of the stuff's available elsewhere now, though. Netflix is losing its domination because it hasn't. It's relying on its own brand of stuff, and about like Adam Sandler films and stuff. Yeah, bring them in, but there's just not enough of it, and they haven't got that mainstay power. Like they've got Stranger Things and that, but they've already announced that's ending. They haven't got the next Stranger Things at the moment, and it's not like the Disney who have Star Wars, Marvel, Alien, Indiana Jones, Pixar to back up their.
Yeah,
they haven't got like they can't go. Oh, next week we're going to put Cars, a new series of Cars on, and all kids will want to watch it. So you've got to subscribe.
Yeah,
they're if you look at Netflix's kids offering, 95% of it is like DreamWorks and other companies who you can get it everywhere. Yes, some of them are funded by Netflix, but then they go elsewhere, so they don't own the IP. I think that it's like Joe. We get like a 6-month exclusive on Xbox, and then it jogs off. I feel like that's what Netflix does with some of those shows, and they need to they should have invested more. But fuck them because they've recast the main cast in Chicken Run 2.
Someone posted an old Netflix tweet earlier. I can't remember who it was. Apologies if you are watching, but it said well, it's like from 2017. It says love is sharing your password.
Yeah, ironic, isn't it?
A Netflix tweet. And then fast forward like 5 years. Now
someone will take them to court in America for that because you guys in America love to sue people.
Yes.
But to be fair, they've shot themselves in the foot. They've literally said, if you love someone, you've got to share your password. Now they're saying you can't. So
Yeah. There was actually a court in California that someone was suing one of the movie studios because this actress that was supposed to be in a trailer wasn't in the movie, and they sued him and said it was false advertising. And the court is like, "Yep, you can sue him." And so now all these game studios are probably watching that like, "Oh shit, please don't make us next," because you remember Ubisoft with Watch Dogs, how it didn't look how they showed it, and then they're selling it, and it's like it's misleading.
Could you remember the hype there was just because his coat ruffled in the wind? Like, there was so much hype over that. It's his fucking coat, mantle. Same with the Division. Like the fact that you could crawl alongside a car and shut the door. Like people lost their minds for that shit.
Well, that was cool. It was so amazing that you were able to do that type of shit. And then when you couldn't, they're like, "Wait a second, this is fucked up."
That's like most games. That's why I don't
watch. Still could.
I just don't believe trailers because 90% of the time they never turn out.
I mean,
they have gotten better though.
I would say don't believe trailers when it comes to EA, Ubisoft, or Bethesda. But Bethesda Softworks. If it's id Software, you can believe it, but not Bethesda Softworks. Sorry.
I mean, just because World of Warcraft you'd think is next gen when you see the trailers, and then when you actually start playing,
God, it looks like a potato
compared.
Yeah.
I went back to playing WoW the other day, just briefly. I was only on it like 2 minutes, and I loaded it up and I thought, my God, nothing has changed in like the 5 years I've been away from it. It's exactly
fair play to them. They have been slowly updating the graphics and they've like been remastering the areas and stuff, but you can only do so much without a new engine. I'm honestly surprised they haven't made a World of Warcraft 2.
There's so much it's so easy for them to do it as well. Azeroth is ending. Everyone has to get on like a fucking arc and make it to another world.
Yeah.
Simple. Boom. World of Warcraft 2.
I don't think they dare risk it because it makes so much money. They don't want to just risk it. Just doesn't make as much. But then they brought out classic servers.
Just keep
the same game twice.
Yeah.
And even
World of Warcraft Classic is updating to the latest expansions. I think what they're on now. Wrath of the Lich King.
It's only going so far, though. I believe it's not going past certain points.
It shouldn't go past Wrath of the Lich King because that's peak. Wow, that was everything after that's been shit. But I played it for like 5 minutes. I was like, I can't go back to this. This is fucking horrendous.
We need more MMOs on console. I'd like to see more. I'd like to get Final Fantasy on Xbox. That'd be nice.
You know what? I really want to try Elder Scrolls Online, but there's something about it that's really off-putting. Like I don't want to lose hundreds of hours of my life again to an MMO because it's fucking soul-destroying.
Didn't they say
down the road when you're like, oh wow, I've lost a year of my life to this game. That's fantastic. There's nothing more soul-destroying than that.
Didn't they say Dune, the upcoming Dune game, was MMO?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, that's going to be DOA then. If it's an MMO, a proper MMO.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, because I was interested in it, but I'm not really an MMO guy, and I said, well, I'm not sure. I like the whole Dune franchise, but I said I don't know about an MMO.
I wonder how the whole Elder Scrolls Online thing works, because it'd be quite funny if we all got on, played different classes, and ran around as like an XBL.
Yeah, you can easily join and teleport to each other. It's good fun. And it quite. If I remember correctly, I think it sort of evens you out as well, so you're not all super overpowered and stuff. Star Trek Online is good at that. Star Trek Online, shout out to BMG in chat. Star Trek Online, if a low player joins in with a high player, you both get put on the same field. So you never feel underpowered and you never feel overpowered. You just play in a fun game. Basically, it's at a decent level, which is something Star Trek Online does really well. I'd agree. We need SWTOR, Star Wars on console. I'd like to see more. A load of companies that were like, we're bringing games to thingy like Lord of the Rings Online was supposed to come. What else did that company make? There's a D&D game, an MMO, another one, and they were going to bring that to console, and they've just never done it yet. So
maybe that's something we could look into for the channel. Chat, how would you feel about there being an XBL MMO online session? Would you tune in to watch that? Let us know in the chat. I think that'd be quite fun. If we all had different classes, different
Yeah,
spec.
but we only play it on the stream, like those characters, because otherwise we end up all over with different levels and stuff. If we all play it from start at level 1,
get Fabio on.
Here you play. I want to play DCU Online. It's such a fun game. It's great. I get to beat people up dressed as like a knockoff Wish Batman. What do you want? I'd also play Star Trek. I would play Star Trek, Elder Scrolls, DCU Online. I'm trying to think what other MMOs are on Xbox at the moment.
I try to avoid them because they are like free to play, and you end up having to pay for shit. I don't like.
Stop being a tight shit.
I don't want to Xbox pay additional shit.
I'm having a look. I'm on the store. I'm going down. We could play Rumbleverse for the next 3 days before they kill it fully.
Rumbleverse.
Yeah, that knockoff the knockoff thingy Bob.
I don't know what it is.
Fortnite fighting game from Epic.
Oh, okay.
They've already announced it's being killed.
When did it come out?
Last year.
Jesus, that was quick.
It's only been out 8 months, if that.
I think it'd be really funny if we did that, did an Elder Scrolls Online sessions where we literally play for 2 or 3 hours, and we're not allowed to play outside of that, and we stream it. I think that'd be really fucking fun.
Yeah, we play every now and again. I'm up for that.
You could do that as on the same nights that we normally do the RP sessions and stuff.
Yeah,
basically an RP, isn't it? Just
when I used to play MMOs with people, we used to do something like that, and then after about 2 months, one arse would piss off, and you'd come back and he'd be on a massive level. It's like, what's the point? I'll play with you, and it'd slowly tinker down till there was only a couple of you.
To be fair though, I am that arsehole because I remember when the Division came out, we made this pact amongst my friends. We're we're only going to play it when we're all online together, and we'll work our way through it together. And then I would get bored after fucking 5 days where they haven't been online. I'm just fuck this. I'm just playing it. I don't want to sit and wait.
You can create another character for that. That's the point. Just make a new character. I'm sure there was a D&D MMO on Xbox. Am I getting completely wrong? I swear I played one and got achievements on it.
There is a Dungeons.
Oh, Neverwinter. Neverwinter. That is a good MMO. I quite enjoy Neverwinter. I played that a fair bit.
There was that one that came out not long ago, but it was quite buggy. I can't remember what it's called. I think that might have been a Warhammer game. I can't remember what it's called. It's gone.
There's a fair few though, but yeah.
It was like a Morrowind sequel. What was it called? It had a dragon in it, like an ice dragon, frost dragon.
I don't know. There's
Fuck knows. Yeah, we'll look into it. Maybe we can do that. I think that'd be good content for the channel.
It'd be good to play anyway, just as a group. We'd have a laugh.
Yeah.
So let's get into our next topic, which is
Leroy.
Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony won't be part of E3 2023.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Anyway.
I don't understand why Xbox and Nintendo have dropped out. I mean, I know Sony didn't want to do it anymore, but then Xbox and Nintendo one's new for this year, isn't it? But then Xbox has their own events anyway, so.
Yeah, doesn't Nintendo do their own event as well?
They have, I can't remember what it's called. Is it Nintendo Direct or something?
Yeah, they sort of pump a direct out around the time. Maybe not the same week, but within the month.
Yeah. But, Xbox been doing their own show for the last few years, haven't they? So it makes sense to... And they can dedicate as much time as they want to it then. They're not constrained to, time periods.
I mean, that's still good, though, because there are a number of, third-party publishers that could put out a lot of good content, hopefully, and I say this because it seems like the people putting E3 together are fucking morons, but it's they're focusing on celebrities, and it's if those celebrities don't game at least 8 hours a week, fuck no, I'm sorry. It's like why the fuck are you gonna have someone at a cooking competition that doesn't even know how to microwave a goddamn Hot Pocket? It's they don't belong at a cooking competition. Get them the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. That's it. Nope, celebrity. No, get out. It's more games, no celebrities, or minimum celebrities. You can have Henry Cavill there because he's a World of Warcraft guy. That's cool. He's a real gamer. But other than that, no. No Al Pacino that he got lost. He wandered in the door because they left it open and he was actually walking through the parking lot. No. Michael Madsen looking like he just been drinking a fifth of vodka. No. It's like, get people in there that are actual gamers. If you're going to have celebrities, don't get people in there just because they're hungry for a paycheck. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's just me, though.
No, I agree. Because it makes no fucking sense. Like, Flute guy at the PlayStation event, why was he even there? It didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's been one of people's biggest complaints about E3 is they're focusing too much on celebrities and music and all this stuff and not enough on gaming. It's like E3, it's like you guys got to look back at the 90s when it was all about games and games you could play and the gamers and the studios and it's like focus on that shit. Yeah. Don't focus on all this Hollywood stuff because it's like we can watch the Oscars or the Emmys or whatever, for that type of shit. It's like that's not why we're coming to E3. That's not why we watch E3.
Exactly.
Hopefully they know that this year. I mean, because a lot of people I think are very skeptical because it seems like the panel of people that puts E3s together, they've kind of forgotten that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you kind of wonder if that's why Nintendo and Xbox are not coming back.
Well, yeah, they don't.
It's now run by ReedPop as well, so it's a different company have paid for the license to run E3, and there's a good chance. I'm sure I read somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but they've not sent out any information about what was happening or anything.
Yeah.
So they're probably like, well, it's too late for us, and they're not something they can. They're not like a single indie dev who only has one table. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they need all the time to plan. But I'm looking forward to Xbox's show. Xbox always put on a good E3 sort of show.
I reckon we'll get.
That.
Honestly, I can see Xbox hitting the stage with like a really cool supercar and showing off more Forza with a release date.
Yeah.
Where is the new Forza expansion? It should have been here by now, honestly.
No, Forza Motorsport. I think that'll be one of the biggest selling points at E3 this year. I think that's when we'll get the release date for Forza.
Where's the Forza Horizon 5 DLC 2 though? Where's that?
Yeah, true.
What is
they might
it?
only do one though. They might only do the one. I think they got some
Ken
Block.
the season pass with two in.
They've got some Ken Block tribute stuff coming. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, but I want a DLC that I paid for already.
We'll get one because it's still going to get supported, isn't it? Even after Motorsport's out. So.
I wonder what the cover car is going to be this year.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be that new. Is it Bugatti? It's just put out a new one. I can't think what it's called. That's gone.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They said in a Forza Monthly in November, it's expected in early 2023. It's early 2023. In February, give it me now.
Yeah, but it makes no sense for it to come out now because you've got to think if Starfield is going to launch in the first half of 2023 and we got Redfall in May, it makes no sense to throw them all out in the first half of the year. I mean,
I'm not about motorsport. I don't care for motorsport. It looks nice, but I don't want to play it. I just want my DLC for the better racing game.
I can't wait for motorsport.
No, do you know what? I like motorsport. It looks great. I don't like that type of racing game because I've driven around. I'm bored now. At least with Horizon, I can go do silly stuff.
I mean, you can, if you don't enjoy Forza Motorsport, you could always play Burnout Paradise Remastered.
That's a good game. I've got that. Love it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get my what is it, the final license you have to get. I don't even remember what it's called.
Oh, I don't know. My son
that game pissed me off.
He just drives around. He doesn't even do races. He just drives around smashing into stuff because he can.
That game back on the 360 really pissed me off because it had an achievement in the game where you had to upload a photo of yourself. And I didn't have a Connect. It was like, what a stupid fucking achievement for a game that doesn't require it. Like,
well,
do you know what I mean?
Fable Anniversary, one achievement requires you to download an app on a Windows tablet, which they don't longer make
anymore.
Yeah, Jesus.
You would think that they would go back and at least patch that in.
Yeah, it takes 5 minutes for a little patch like that. Just auto unlock for everyone.
Yeah, it's just laziness.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather they changed it like they've done with some other games where they've changed the unlock sort of specification and requirements. But if you ain't got time and money, just quickly put a line that says auto unlock when game switches on, and let those people. I mean, I understand you didn't technically do it. I understand those achievement purists who are like, man, but I did it on the first day. I went out and spent £700 on a tablet just for that achievement. Those sort of games. True, then, but I want 1,000 out of 1,000. I want a nice gamer score.
They had achievements to the game just for starting the game, so why not just like fucking convert it to one of those.
Talking of achievements,
you know what?
Just had an update to 6,000 this morning.
Cruise Brothers, isn't it?
Cruise Brothers.
I can't bring myself to go back and play it.
It probably is just like press start on the menu, 200 game score. Honestly, I mean, it's the worst.
I hated myself playing that game. I actually physically hated
and you want to go back and play it again, though, aren't you?
I'm gonna get 1,000. Yeah, I like completions.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, you know, it kind of made no sense to me for them to put achievements tied to multiplayer, especially when these servers are eventually going to go offline. So it's like if you got all these other games you're playing and you play the single player campaign, but you never play the multiplayer, and then you have to go back and play the multiplayer, but the servers are offline. How the hell are you going to get the achievement? You know,
they should auto pop all the multiplayer achievements. You can once they delist the game, you can no longer buy it, or they turn off the server so you can't play the multiplayer. They should enable a patch that allows you to unlock all the multiplayer achievements.
Yeah.
Well, look at Sea of Thieves. They got rid of one of the modes, and so you can't get the achievements. And yes, I get it. It was there for like 2 years. If you wanted to get it, you should have played it by now. Yeah. But we weren't under the impression it was ever going to get shut down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we weren't going to shut that mode off. So
yeah, that's
why I like achievements to be story based. And I'm one of those people that I don't like. Maybe have like a couple of collectible achievements, but not silly like bloody Assassin's Creed in that way. It's like collect every fart in the game in a jar of a certain colour to get all the achievements. I like games where you just unlock them by playing. You don't have to think about what you're doing. You can just enjoy the game, and when you get to the end of the game, you've got 1,000 game score. That's all I want.
I don't like the games that add like different types of achievements as well. So there's 4 different achievements all tied to collectibles, but they're all for a randomly different collectible. I don't like those kind of achievements. Collect all these statues, collect all these audio logs. I don't like those kind of fucking achievements.
I hate them where they do achievements for doing random shit in games, which is cool when you get them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to play a game a certain way just to get an achievement, or have to replay an entire game because I chose to kick someone in the arse instead of kicking them in the dick.
Life is like that. If you don't kill the infant or don't kill the child, you don't get the achievement.
Yeah, exactly. I hate those type of achievements.
Stupid.
It should be it should be an achievement that unlocks either way, but it maybe says, "Oh, you decided to do this or not." Do you know what I mean? I think achievement should be for achieving the game, finishing the game.
I think there's so much more. There's so much more they could do with achievements as well. That's the annoying thing. Like, there's so many cool ideas that people have floated around with achievements, and they don't care about achievements.
There you go. Finber's just said he got nearly 10 achievos for playing the tutorial of that new JoJo game on Game Pass. What are we doing? You shouldn't be able to get all the achievements in a game within the first 5 levels.
Super chat. Cheers, Muppet. Thanks for coming and hanging out, and thanks for donating 2 quid, buddy. Really appreciate that.
Thank you for not talking about Marvel Snap in a super chat.
Cheers, buddy. Sorry, Ash, what were you saying?
Just I hate it when I forgot what I was going to go now. It's totally sent me off.
Oh, you should the 10 achievements in tutorial.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be able to get 1,000 G without finishing the game or a good quantity. Like I was playing, I played a few games for review this last couple of days, and you only have to finish 10 levels to get 1,000 G. What's that about? There's no challenge. They're literally doing it, and I know why they're doing it, because sad people like Redders here, who destroyed his gamer score, buys them to get those cheap 1,000 things. We know people, you know I'm talking about, who literally are just playing nights at a time, shit games, just to bump the game score. But the game score then don't me know. Slayer, other people beginning with S. I've played a lot, and I know I have, and I talk about it. But 90% of the time, they send me them for free for reviews.
Oh, give over. You can't use that as an excuse.
I don't. But even then, I think I feel dirty now, and I don't go for achievements anymore.
It's not as exciting as it used to be.
No, when you got an achievement for finishing a game and you worked hard on a certain difficulty, you're like, yes. Or when you get 100% in a game and it gets you an achievement, you're like, that's awesome.
Back on the 360, I was really driven. I really wanted to get as many achievements as I could, because it meant something back then. Indie games only had 200 gamer score, and only the AAAs had the 1,000 gamer score, and But then the Xbox One came along, and suddenly you were getting thousands for every fucking game that came out, and it's like, well, what's the fucking point in this?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I still go back and do a bit of whoring every now and again, but
the whoring would be all right. If it would be a little more bearable if it was 200G, but the fact it's 1,000, it just feels
yeah, so it doesn't need to be 1,000. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I'll tell you what, let's move on to our next topic, which is it's not Xbox related, it's not even gaming related, but fuck it, I want to talk about it because I really enjoyed it. WWE Royal Rumble, thoughts and opinions. Oh yeah. Did you watch it, Ash?
Well, I watched it. Of course, I watched it like first thing in the morning on Sunday when I got up. I watched it.
Sentinel, did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched Royal Rumble in a long time, to be honest.
What a letdown.
You're let down. Kick him off.
I know.
Go play Marble Snap. God.
Oh, Jesus.
What did you think of it, Ash?
Do you know what? As a full show, it wasn't bad. Like, the Men's Rumble, I really enjoyed. There wasn't a lot of surprises and legends, which I was a bit bummed out. But then I thought about it, and I was like, I watched the entire thing. I didn't get bored. And I enjoyed the men's match. It showcased a lot of people. Like Gunther came out of that looking like a machine, like an absolute monster. It pushed forward so many storylines and created actual new ones instead of it just being throwaway. Oh, we throw this guy on a rope and stuff. The women's rumble was the same. It wasn't bad at all.
I preferred the men's rumble over the women's rumble.
Yeah. There was more at stake in the men's. Like it felt bigger. Although the last three in the women's rumble was good when they were all on the edge of the rope. And you were like, I honestly thought, spoilers if you haven't watched it, but it's everywhere online now. You should have watched it. I honestly thought, oh shit, they're going to let Liv win here. And I was so disappointed, and then she didn't. It was such a bait and switch, and I was like, yes. And then the woman's championship match that was a bit meh, and the Bray match wasn't really a match, but it was cool.
I wanted to like it, but it was like, it turned into like a 5-minute squash.
The Mountain Dew rave match.
Yeah, it was such a cool idea. I love the whole UV thing.
He could win though. And he looks amazing, like covered in his like luminous cum. But the ending was just a bit weird, and the camera angle should have been at a better angle to obviously not catch that. He totally misses him on that jump at the end.
Saw that. Yeah.
You weren't going to jump on him and crush him. Like no one's going to do that. But they could have just slightly better the camera angle. Yeah. And then the last match was brutal. When he was slamming his head onto the steps, I was like, Jesus. Yeah. And then it was just like beautiful, poetic. It was like I was like on the edge of my seat in that for the last like 10 minutes. I'm like, is The Rock coming? Is he not? And he didn't come. But it didn't matter in the end. It was just like that. This is some good TV.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't the biggest show. It didn't have like huge star power from like legends or out, but it did everything it needed to do. And I've seen people shitting on it, and it's like, honestly, it wasn't. It was probably the best Rumble we've had in years.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for last year's Rumble.
Yeah, it was okay. I liked the man's Rumble. I thought that was really solid. Logan Paul, as much as you want to hate him, I thought he belongs in the WWE ring. He just gets it. I think he's going to be massive if
he'll win a title. I think in the next couple of years.
Yeah. He's going to be the next Miz. He reminds me of the Miz when he first broke through. I think he's a lot more athletic there and a lot more dynamic. I wanted to like the Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight match. It's just such a cool idea, but it just turned into like a 5-minute squash. And I was like, well, we've been waiting for Bray Wyatt to wrestle since November, October, and he comes out and is over in 5 minutes. Like, oh, thanks. I'm not really invested in this Uncle Howdy storyline. I think he's turning up in weird places, and it just doesn't make any sense, especially with like Alexa Bliss, like turning up.
Can you say
oh fuck me, Alexa's off. Alexa, stop.
Just been off as well.
But yeah, I don't really.
Stop.
I think they're spreading that too far. I would happy if it just stayed with Bray. Women's Rumble was okay. It didn't blow me away. Glad whoever won it. I think it's deserved. She's been
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, she's been like a mainstay now, isn't she? It looks like peak.
Best bit
Women's
about
wrestling.
Rhea Ripley carries the women's division. She's amazing.
I really loved the Bloodline storyline at the end. I want to see where that. I think WWE's at its best when they do good storytelling. For years, it lost that. It was just when it shifted into that PG era, it became really weird. Like there was a lot of advertisement, not a whole lot of storyline. Creative was really struggling, and I feel like since Triple H has taken over, it's been a lot more coherent, and there's a lot more storylines that I'm getting invested in, which is great because that's what I want to watch. Because basically wrestling,
long-term booking now, isn't there?
Yeah, wrestling is it is a male soap opera, so you need to have that drama. You need to have those storylines. They're going to keep you invested. And, I think they've really started to find their stride again with that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was okay. I would give it a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, something like that.
What?
It wasn't mind blowing.
7.5.
Everybody knew who was going to win the Rumble before it even happened on both the male and female. Like it's just
but that's fine. That's what you want.
No, I want surprises. I don't want to be like.
You got a surprise.
To be fair though, that's the problem now that everything's online and everybody can talk and the sheets get out there and everybody knows what's going to happen. There's no surprises anymore. I like those. Oh my God, did that just happen? Moments, not these. Oh yeah, he's going to win the Rumble, and then you watch it, and yeah, he wins the Rumble, and it's like, oh okay, cool. I'm glad Cody's back. Phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah. To get it back onto gaming, though, they did show off some of the game as well this week.
Yes.
It looks fantastic. They've added new modes. You can get War Games matches in the game. There's loads of wrestlers. They've just started putting out the load of content creators are putting out like early access impressions. So they obviously have been doing that this last week or two since Rumble. Yeah. So
it does.
The game looks phenomenal. I can't wait. I hope there's an online gem mode because the gem mode is great, but it'd be better if you didn't. You can play it split screen, like 2 player at the same computer, but it'd be better online against each other. And we would probably, me and Jinner and BMG and that would probably want to do that. Graphically, looks great. There's loads of wrestlers, loads of new match types and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. And they're slowly sort of on the hype train now. They keep showing off more and more things.
I saw the Cody Rhodes entrance. They showed off. It looked great. I wish it had more pyro, but graphically it looks incredible.
Yeah. You've got to think though, bar WrestleMania, they don't really use pyro at all. That's one thing I didn't like about the Rumble. When people won the match, they had the pyro, and then they went to outside the arena with fake fireworks, like computer generated over the top. Yeah. Like, why even bother doing that? Oh, they're not firing fireworks out of the building into the sky randomly. You just look at it and you're like, what? And there was also that weird musician in the middle, wasn't there, like before main event that killed the mood. But I skipped that when I watched it, so I don't think. But if you were watching that live, I had to put it with him for 10 minutes. You'd be like,
no, I skipped a lot of it.
Isn't it? But yeah, 2K23 looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I think it's coming out for WrestleMania. It's out in March.
March, ready for Mania in April. Yeah. Next pay-per-view's Elimination Chamber. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be good. So yeah, let's get back onto some gaming topics. So I just wanted to talk about that because this is the first pay-per-view I've actually watched in a long time. So it's nice to actually sit down and talk to somebody about what I thought about it. Because it's been years since I've been able to do that.
Just wait for me.
Yeah. So a bit of shocking news actually to come out of this week. So apparently, according to Jason Schreier, I didn't see this because I'm actually blocked by him, but apparently EA and Respawn have quietly cancelled a single-player game in the Apex Titanfall universe. According to 3 people familiar with EA will try and find new positions for the 50-plus people who are working on the team.
Jesus.
They're still not listening. Still not listening to people. People have been wanting a Titanfall 3 for ages.
Yeah.
Well, this was going to be a single-player Titanfall experience. It wasn't going to be a proper Titanfall sequel, apparently.
Yeah, but I just want something new from Titanfall. There needs to be a Titanfall 3, man. Like, it's been... Titanfall 2 was incredible and deserving of a sequel. Titanfall 1 wasn't, yet we got Titanfall 2. I want Titanfall 3.
I'd like to see a Titanfall 3. Do you know what? Titanfall 1 and 2 were great, and they just released Titanfall 2 like in the middle of Battlefield and COD, and it just died.
Yeah.
Which it did die. It had an alright following. It just wasn't mega numbers that they were hoping for. So I'm hoping like one day it gets a justified sequel. But the problem is that Apex Legends and these live service games have created this new metric that everyone's chasing, and it just means that your sort of classic standalone single player games with multiplayer tacked on, they don't get the focus they deserve, even though they do great. Like Dead Space is getting rave reviews, and they're also on about wanting to do more with the fucking franchise, which is fantastic because it's been dead for so long. But there's just not enough of them.
I mean, I'm even for an Apex single player game. Like if they want to try and turn that into like a proper, story driven single player campaign with, I'd be all for that. Like just even if it's just exploring like the origins of the characters and why they're fighting and stuff. I'd be all for that. But I don't like the idea that they're getting cancelled because they make so much money off Apex Legends anyway through microtransactions. Like fuck's sake.
The whole Titanfall thing, it feels like it's kind of taken the place of Splinter Cell. For years everybody wanted a Splinter Cell game. Finally Ubisoft listened, and now they're working on a Splinter Cell game that is being tailor-made for modern audiences, whatever that means. And then it's like EA is, they hear all of this talk about Titanfall 3, but they're completely just ignoring it. And who knows how big this single-player campaign was, or the single-player game involving Titanfall in the Apex Titanfall universe. If it's only 50 people, it's probably not going to be that big of a game, unless it was in pre-production. But then again, it's been years, so we don't really know how far in production they were. Titanfall 2, you were exactly right. It landed right between Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1. And so many people were tired of the futuristic shit in, by that point, that Infinite Warfare, of course, it was a very underrated Call of Duty game, but people were just, they wanted World War I, World War II. They wanted the older types of conflict, which is why a whole bunch of people loved Battlefield 1. Not many people loved Infinite Warfare, and it kind of feels like if they would not have launched Titanfall 2 in that big mess, if they would have delayed it 2 or 3 or 4 months and given it its own room to breathe, that Titanfall 2 would have sold a hell of a lot better than it did. It would have got a lot more attention, but people still realize it's that it's underrated, tremendously underrated, and they've been calling for Titanfall 3 for years. Yeah. And to have E3 cancel something that was single player in the Titanfall universe, even if it wasn't Titanfall 3, it's still going to be a sore point for a lot of gamers that love the franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. I was disappointed. Good night, BMG. Cheers for coming and hanging out and chat, buddy.
The Apex Titanfall crossover would have been really interesting, of course, because they both happen in the same universe. But it means because at least someone at EA is kind of thinking the same thing that we're talking about. Hey, there should be some type of crossover, or something within the Titanfall universe acknowledging Apex. So at some point, someone was listening to us, but for whatever reason, this game got canceled. I hope that there is a Titanfall 3 somewhere in development, even if it's just on a drawing board somewhere, that eventually we'll get to see it,
Yeah. And, Respawn are doing Star Wars as well, aren't they? So...
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, that's that little bit of information, that little bit of news. In other news, Gears of War 6 is reportedly the Coalition's next game after 2 other titles have been cancelled after layoffs.
I am shocked. No, not really, but what else are they going to make?
The Coalition's making a Gears of War. Who knew?
Yeah, right. They've been making Gears of War games for like the past 15 years.
Yeah. Not really news, is it?
Some people are interested in it, maybe 200 or 300 people, and that's about it. But, the rest of us are like, no, we're good.
It's a shame that they're not making something else, though, isn't it? Because,
yes.
I'm tired of fucking Gears, Halo, and I need something new. Like, make something from the creators of Gears of War, or
yes.
You don't have to have fucking sequel after sequel.
Well,
From
and we've talked
Halo.
We've talked about this before, you know, Dread or Punisher from Coalition. That would be fucking fire. It feels like they're wasted on Gears because everybody's tired of Gears, because during the Xbox One generation, a whole bunch of people were saying Halo, Gears, and Forza. That's all they got, you know. So it's like, hey, Halo. I mean, we know what's going on with Halo. Forza is really the only one that keeps it pretty fresh, and they're always stellar. They always have a great experience. But it's like Gears, Jesus Christ, just give it a rest. Let it sit on a shelf for 10 years and let Coalition make something other than Gears 16, Gears 25, Gears 37. It's like, enough with that shit already, you know?
Jeez, I'd love an open world Dread game.
Yeah.
An open world Punisher.
Oh, that would be great.
Fantastic. But yeah, I don't get why they keep these developers on the same game, the same franchise year after year. I mean, they're one of the best developers using Unreal.
Yes.
They could make so much other cool shit.
Yeah. You know, and everyone sings the praises of Naughty Dog. I think the Coalition is their equal, but it's just they're limited by Gears, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, that's that little bit of news. So I'm kind of winding down now that the news stories aren't really that impressive now. So it looks like support for Back 4 Blood is starting to come to an end. Bit of a shame. It's only been out not very long.
Yeah.
Turtle Rock Studios is actually a pretty small studio making AAA games. We don't quite have enough folks to continue working on Back 4 Blood content while we spin up another game. So it sounds like they're just, rather than keep people on Back 4 Blood, they're just pulling everybody off to work on something new. So that's kind of cool.
Turtle Rock Studios, didn't they make Evolved?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
You know, it sounds like they need to worry less about abandoning projects and spinning off into something else and focusing on doubling down and making a multiplayer game that people want to stick around with for 5 or 10 years, because obviously what their little game plan about, we're going to abandon this and work on something else, that's not really working well for them.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
To be fair, I mean, they did bring out 3 expansions. They've done all the DLC they'd planned, so we can't complain too much. It's not like they've dropped it with no support. Do you know what I mean? They have at least...
Yeah, but when did Back 4 Blood come out? What was that, like last year, year before?
It had a year of support, which is better than for a... I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
How long has Destiny 2 been supported?
That's a totally different kettle of fish, though.
Yeah,
It's
but
about 5
the
or 6
whole
years,
my whole point though is it's like a little over a year old and they're already abandoning it. It's like, come on, you know.
Yeah, but they only have enough staff to do like one game at a time. So the justification is, well, we want to make a new game, and we keep working on this one where we haven't got as many people paying for it.
Well, Turtle Rock isn't owned by Xbox yet, are they?
No.
Or Microsoft. Okay, all right. I guess that makes sense.
They need to stop focusing on these co-op fucking niche games. I think.
Yeah.
They need to because Evolve didn't work. It was dead in like a month. Back 4 Blood never really got started because it was already compared to Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Before when it got announced, I just think they need to work on something new and unique that isn't a multiplayer cooperative game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to focus on Road Rage, a Road Rage remake. There you go.
Road Rash.
There you go. Road Rash. Yep. They need to be handed that remake and completely just knock it out of the park, because I think that would be badass.
There was a spiritual successor to Road Rash.
I remember hearing something about that. I don't think I played it though.
I played it. It was horrendous.
Well, there you go. There's room for a remake or reboot, whatever.
Yeah. In other news, Far Cry 7 and a Far Cry standalone multiplayer game are currently in development at Ubisoft. Shocker.
I know, right?
Yeah. I'm glad that they've done it, because honestly, when they started saying shit like, everything's going to become a live service game, that was my biggest fear for these franchises.
Yeah.
But if they're going to do like a standalone Far Cry 7 and a live service Far Cry, then fair enough. I'd rather they did that than bolt it on and try to make Far Cry something completely different than what it was. My biggest issue with AC Infinity as well, to be fair. Was it Infinity?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but Infinity was like pushed as this fucking games as a service experience where you could play in different time periods. I was like, not interested in this.
You know, my question with Far Cry is where the hell are they going to go? Because in Far Cry 5, they nuked the world. Far Cry New Dawn takes place after they've nuked the world. And, of course, Far Cry 6 is on its own island, isolated.
Was it after they nuked the world?
Yeah. Well,
Far Cry 6 was...
It was at the same time because you got Boomer in the crate, the dog.
I thought it was... no, Boomer wasn't the dog. It was a different dog.
Yeah, it was Boomer because the protagonist calls it Boom Boom.
All right, I don't know then. I thought it was set during the Castro times of Cuba. I didn't realize
No, well, that's what a lot of people thought, and then people were speculating that the kid Diego was actually Voss as a kid. There was tons of speculation, but you actually get the dog Boomer from Far Cry 5 in a crate. It was sent by Herc, I guess, and they call him Boom Boom in Far Cry 6. So it pretty much happens parallel with Far Cry 5, apparently, right before the apocalypse or right after it happened.
Yeah, well, they could do what they like then, really. I mean, New Dawn was fucking awful. I didn't like that game.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. Well, and it was the RPG elements, because it's like shooting someone in the head with a 50 cal and you have to whittle down their health. It's like, come on, that's completely ridiculous. Yeah,
shoot someone in the head and you have to hit them fucking twice.
Yeah, so it's like, where can they go with Far Cry 7? Time period wise, RPG wise. I mean, it's like, where are they going to go with this? Yeah.
They only recently started entwining the story, didn't they? Because Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, there wasn't any connection. There was no connection between 4 and 5 either. It was only the DLC from Far Cry 5 that told the story of the nuke being sent by Pagan Min's son.
Yeah, it was. I heard something about that. I know you have Agent Willis. He's in Far Cry 3, 4, and 5. But as far as outside of that, in game, it doesn't really tell you much.
Yeah, the DLC for Far Cry 5, not Far Cry 5, Far Cry 6, the Insanity DLC, where you're playing as Pagan Man.
Yeah.
If you complete that one, it tells you about him giving over his empire to, is it RJ?
RJ, yeah.
And he basically tells him the nukes are set to target this place, and that's what happens in Far Cry 5 as a Far Cry 6 DLC. That's the only point it really starts to...
I see.
Yeah, entwine with each other. So yeah, I mean, they could do another post-apocalyptic Far Cry, which would be really cool.
I still have hope for a full-blown Blood Dragon 2 game. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be so kick-ass, but have it in the 90s with all the futuristic cyborg shit they had then. Because they did the 80s, now they can do the 90s,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you what, we're going to start winding this down because we're going on now and we've run out of fucking topics to talk about. So, yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I believe the PSN Party Podcast show is back on Wednesday, Sentinel?
Yeah, next Wednesday.
So BMG and Sentinel will be back for the Wednesday show. Ash, do you want to talk about Game Pass stuff?
Yeah, can do. Give me a second just to get it up. So we've got a few things. There are a handful of games being removed from Game Pass shortly. Let me just get the list up in front of me. So on the 15th of February, so you got 13 days. Infernax is going, Besiege is going, Recompile is going, Skull the Hero Slayer is going. So they're indie games. There's The Last Kids on Earth and The Staff of Doom. That's a OG Games sort of kids tie-in game based on a TV show. and Crossfire X is going, or Operation Catalyst. So the campaign is going. So that's all getting removed on the 15th. So have a look while you can. 2 games have been added to Game Pass yesterday or today. Darkest Dungeon is back on Game Pass again, so it's been on previously. And Grid Legends is now playable via Xbox Cloud. So slim pickings on new arrivals. Just seeing if there's else. Amnesia: The Bunkers had its Game Pass delayed, so it's going to be coming to Game Pass later. Unfortunately, it does suck, but there are a lot of delays happening in the world right now. And another thing, I don't know if we've touched on this, they are delisting a selection of Xbox 360 games from the 360 marketplace. Now, if these games are currently available on the Xbox One and Series X store, you'll still be able to buy them there, but for some weird reason, they're removing them from the 360 store. Probably an early sign of the 360 stores, a basically demise.
Is that a good run?
Yeah, so there's different ones for different regions. However, in the US, you're looking at Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 3, Black Flag, Liberation HD. You've got COD Advanced Warfare and Ghosts, Blood of the Werewolf, Castle Crashers, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dark Souls, Darksiders 2, Daytona USA, Each Chowdown, Final Fight Double Impact, Iron Brigade, Jeremy McGrath's Off-Road, Jet Set Radio, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, Limbo, Monopoly Deal, Tales from Space, Mutant Blobs Attack, Peggle 2, Prince of Persia, Ruse, Sega Vintage Collection, Alex Kidd & Co., Skate 2, South Park The Stick of Truth, Spelunky, The Orange Box, and Raven. Now, some of these are just the 360 versions as well. Obviously, there's been Xbox One versions released. They're not being touched. And like I say, it is only off the 360 store. However, games like Daytona USA, there is no current gen version, Xbox One or Series X version on the store, even through back compat. So check it out and pick up the ones you want, because if you play them on the 360 or you want to play them on backwards compat and they're not available to buy on the store, you can download them after they get removed. But if you don't, they're gone and you'll never be able to buy them digitally again. Most of these are available, I say half of them, I'd say, are available physically. However, there are a handful, Counter-Strike, Daytona, Iron Brigade, those sort of things, Jet Set Radio, that there isn't physical copies for. So I would grab them while you can. And yeah, you've got till the 7th of February. You haven't got long. You've got like 5 days. So there's not a huge amount there I'd miss, because most of these are available on Xbox One, but there are, like I say, a couple that aren't. And there's also 360 versions, so they are different versions, not the same game, that you can only get on the 360. So I don't know why they're removing them, but it does seem like slowly but surely they're going to be removing content bit by bit from the Xbox store to probably eventually sunset the store. You'll still be able to download things and play, but why have the store open with all that server space when probably, barring sales, no one buys it? And nowadays, 90% of the sales stuff that's for 360 is on Xbox One. There's only normally like a handful of games in each sale that are 360 only. So it sucks. And Star Wars Jedi Survivor has been delayed as well.
From March to April, wasn't it?
Yeah, from March to April. Not a big one. I'm just trying to think if there's else. A load of server games are getting shut down, so there's a selection of servers being shut on EA games in the next sort of month's time. So expect to see a handful of games slowly but surely. They'll still be playable, but you won't be able to play them online, basically. So you've got like EA Sports, UFC 2. The servers are getting shut down in 4 days. FIFA 16, 17, 18, 19, 1 week until all their servers close. Medal of Honor, Warfighter, and Airborne, they're going in 2 weeks. Rumbleverse, you've got 3 weeks to get shut down. That's not an EA game, but it's on the server shutdown list. Madden 18 and 19, you've got a month. Shadows at the Damned is getting its service shut down on the 28th of March. And then there's Just Dancers are going in June. So, if you, for some reason, are still playing FIFA 16 online, you're not going to be able to in a week's time, unfortunately. So get online, guys. Get your squad together. Get all your friends on, and all of you play FIFA 16 while you can, because otherwise you'll never get those memories again.
Wow. Now you're having me think that I need to go see if I actually bought Daytona USA way back in the day.
Well, I know I did. I'm literally going to check after the show, though, to check it's actually showing in my menu beforehand. But, yeah, that's what I mean. You can still download it, but it's a shame because Xbox are all like pro game preservation, and then they shit the bed with stuff like this. It doesn't show game preservation. Literally, some of these games are back compat on Xbox, but you can't buy them on the Xbox. Why? If the digital games only and the back compat, why can I not buy Daytona on my Series X? What weird licensing is that? I just don't understand it. I don't understand. Why can I play all my PS1 games on a PS2? And I play all my GameCube games on my Wii, but I can't play all the 360 games on my Xbox One because someone doesn't want me to. It doesn't make sense. Literally baffles me completely. I assume it's probably something to do with the internet and internet connections and stuff like that in licensings in that sense, because all those old gen games were single offline games. Yeah. But I still cannot get my head around why some consoles are fully backwards compat and then others are not. Isn't the PS4 to PS5 now fully back compat bar, or is it just certain games that PS4 can play on PS5?
I'm not sure. Yeah, no idea.
It's just weird. Sure. It's weird. So,
well, and that's like you remember they did the where they pulled a lot of songs off Grand Theft Auto 4, but you don't hear any songs getting pulled off of the Saints Row games.
Yeah. It baffles me. I just think they're using it as an excuse, which is sad. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, I bet a lot of people don't buy these games, but then they never put them on sale. If these companies put their 360 games on sale, I've been picking up 360 games. If I see them on the store and they're less than $5, I tend to pick them up so I've got a copy digitally.
Yeah.
But it seems to be the same 20 games over and over and over nowadays. So, although one thing confused me, right? They've just brought out a new version of Risen for the Series X and Xbox One.
Yeah, I saw that. Weren't you reviewing it?
I've got a review will be going up in the next couple of days, maybe Monday by the time I get around to writing it. Yeah. However, it's the exact same game as the one that came out on 360. There's nothing changed. It's just a new port, new achievements, better. It just runs better. It's no different content. They've not.
Didn't they also bring it out on the Xbox One?
Yeah, so it's out on Xbox One and Series X and S, but it came out originally on the 360. Now the 360 port wasn't great. It had a bit of slowdown and stuff. The new versions don't, but all in essence they're the same exact game graphically. They've brought this new version out at £30, but right now in the store you can buy the original 360 one on sale at £3.74 the exact same week. Why would you put it on sale and sell it for £3.74 the same week you're bringing out the new version? Who's going to fucking pay £30 for a game you can pay £3.74 for? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Do you know Deep Silver are owned by THQ, aren't they?
Are they? I thought it was Embracer Group.
Yeah, but Embracer own THQ.
Oh, I don't know then. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure Embracer own THQ. Let me just double check. THQ.
I thought Deep Silver was THQ.
Yeah, THQ owned Deep Silver, yeah. So I was like, maybe it was a weird rights thing, and whoever owns the rights to the 360 was like, you know what? I'll put it out the same week while it's on Get the Traction. It's not. It's the same fucking company.
Didn't Silver just get absorbed into something else though, because of how bad Saints Row did?
Yeah, the entire studio that worked on it, I guess they've been scattered to the four winds.
Oh, okay.
But they kind of deserve it because they basically were like, fuck all the people that like what Saints Row used to be. Fuck it, we're gonna make it how we want it, and if you don't like it, get the hell out.
We're gonna make Saints woke.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's like it's like your motherfuckers got what you deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. So I know there's like fucking 50 F-bombs in this thing, but better than the R word, right?
Yeah.
But it's just weird. I don't get why you would do that. You're releasing a new version of a game, and it's not like a remaster with any like new. It's not like the SpongeBob game and the Destroy All Humans where it has a new graphical engine and stuff, but it's the same game basically. No, this is literally the exact same game re-released, but on like a modern system.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to delist the old one, but why would you sell the old one at the exact same time for so little when you're trying to charge 30 quid for a new version?
Yeah.
I mean, which idiot in marketing thought that were a good idea? Makes it a hard sell. Baffling me. But read more 360 games. I'm always sad they never put more on, honestly. Shops in it foot there. Far Cry Predator, £3.59 at the moment.
I can't bring myself to go back and play in 360 games. I don't know why, because I used to love them back in the day, but I just can't bring myself to go back and play them. Weird, isn't it?
You know what bugs me though is like there's some really great 360 games that will never be part of the backwards compatibility thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
It really baffles me, and some you think would be as well aren't on the backwards compatibility as well.
Yeah.
Well, like they got Fear 2, I think, but they don't have Fear 3. It's like, what the hell,
Yeah. I think there's more to it. I feel like it's companies that are literally just wanting to make as much money as possible, and they just think, why would I want people to be able to play it for free? Do you know what I mean? That already own it, let's make them rebuy it. But it's mad. It's mad because like I'm just looking down the sales at the moment. Bayonetta, you can buy it in sale. I own it, but they've already released a new version. Like they've brought like that remastered version out, but they still kept it on backwards compat as well. Like but other companies won't even give us the original game. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. Why have they never been remastered and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's because they're attached to Valve.
Valve don't make games anymore. They just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's why we don't get Left 4 Dead 3. That's why we don't get Half-Life 3. That's why we don't get Portal 3. Yep, exactly right.
Persona 4 Arena. That's another one. Atlas got it on sale at £3.59 for the 360 version.
I'd love to see Unreal Tournament 3 for the fucking Xbox Series consoles.
Quake.
Quake. Yep.
Do you know what? Why have we not got that Quake? Is it Quake Arena? There's a Quake.
Yeah, Quake 3 Arena.
No, but they brought one out that's just a Quake multiplayer on PC, and it's like the best of all of the games, and they've like redone maps and stuff like that to put them in.
Yeah.
Why is that not on Xbox and in Game Pass and stuff? Now Xbox own them. Like, it's a good game for Game Pass. It'll have people playing it on PC. You could give some free costumes out and stuff.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Oh, it's called Quake Online.
I think if a lot of us were running Xbox, all those Quake games would be on Game Pass, 100%.
Yeah. Well, where's Quake 4? I know Activision own it. I hope to God, if this Activision deal goes through, they put Quake 4 on compat, or at least re-release it. So because it's literally the only Quake we haven't got anymore. And Quake 4, I really enjoyed it was one of the first games I got for 360. I remember it was one of the ones that I went, I'd like a 360 to play that. Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy that they got Halo, Doom Guy, and Quake all under the same banner, yet there hasn't been any kind of crossover yet. I feel like it's such wasted potential.
Yeah. You know what? It's like I want to say that there's so much fuck Call of Duty. You know, this Activision Blizzard deal has so much more to offer than just Call of Duty. Look at all these IPs that are shelved that everybody's going to absolutely love if they're ever brought back. You know?
Yeah.
That Activision is just sitting on because all they care about is Call of Duty and Overwatch and Candy Crush and what is it, World of Warcraft, and that's all they care about. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's
Nice
the
to
thing.
see
There's
them,
so bloody many.
Yeah.
Be nice to see them try to revive some of the old Activision franchises that everybody knows and loves.
Blur,
Just having everything make fucking
Empire,
And
Geometry
True Crime
Wars.
and Prototype.
yeah.
You know, you got
Remember
Guitar
when we
Hero.
get the Geometry Wars with the new console and stuff.
There you
Gun.
go.
Gun was an awesome cowboy game. Bring that back.
I actually have that for PS2 and I haven't played it yet.
I quite like them. I had the 360 version, but it's like rocking or shit to get nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Ash, have you seen the news? Lanny Poffo has died.
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
Fucking hell, I just seen that now.
Tenchu. We'll get a new Tenchu game. Like, there's loads. Activision have done loads of games over the years. I know they've published a lot. Like, you could just pay a little bit of money and re-release some of these games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could finally get a Spider-Man game.
All the classic, like, Crash Bandicoots and Spyros on the Xbox on, like, retro and stuff. Could you imagine how much of a slapping face that'd be to PlayStation, that all these, like, PS1 games are now out on Xbox? You know what I mean? It'd be fucking hilarious, especially with PlayStation pushing their, like, retro on their subscription service. Dick move, but it'd be fucking hilarious. I tell you, I would laugh so hard, and I'd go all in on it. It'd be amazing. It's like, oh yeah, we're bringing all these franchises back. PlayStation doesn't, so
Yeah.
And I agree with Sappho. I can't wait for it to end. It's literally becoming Xbox more the longer it goes on. So just get it done, get it sorted. Either do it, don't do it, but we want more, and like either not acquisitions, but even like team ups and stuff like that, and just deals.
I think if it doesn't go through, Xbox is going to make life very difficult for Sony in other ways. I think they'll.
I hope they do.
I think it's justified because they've gone out of their way to prevent this, and it's like, hold on a second. It's like Microsoft did not go to Bobby Kotick and poach them. He approached Microsoft. You know, so it's like you guys need to chill out.
Could you imagine, right, if Microsoft was to go to Rockstar and get exclusive content for GTA 6?
Yeah, well, they'd have to go to Strauss Zelnick, who runs Take-Two, because he wouldn't. Well, I mean, he's a businessman, so he'll deal, but you know, I don't think they could go just to Rockstar. They'd have to go above Rockstar. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, Strauss Zelnick, he seems very happy and positive about Game Pass. So it's obvious that Take-Two and Microsoft have a very friendly, close relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Quickly, a bit of like brand new news that I've just had shared with me. Evil Dead the game is getting a battle royale mode.
Yes.
So it's a 40-player online battle royale game mode where you
that
can
will
play
be interesting.
Versions of your favorite characters, as well as a new character, a newcomer, Ruby Novi, and basically
bring a Ruby in finally.
Nice.
So I wasn't expecting that, like a 40-player sort of free for all, but I'd be up for that. That would probably get me back into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the
that's Xena, isn't it? Xena's Ruby.
Yeah. She's the main.
I've not watched it in a while. I forgot names. Should have just said, and you can play as Xena, and I'd have been like, Xena. Do you ever remember the PS1 Xena game where you could throw a disc and control it really badly? Oh, amazing. It's amazing. Imagine Tomb Raider, but instead of having guns, you had that little spinning disc, and you fired it, but the controlling on it were terrible, and you had to like sort of chop people's heads off and stuff.
Nice.
Amazing.
Did you see that trailer for Evil Dead Rise?
Yes, it looks amazing.
It's quite grim, doesn't it? That fucking scene with the cheese grater. That.
Oh, there's also an update for Ghostbusters out now with a new map, a new ghost, and I believe they're getting real Ghostbusters costumes and stuff like that as well. I've seen it. Hang on, let's see if I've got it here. I had an email about it earlier from the press team. Let's see if it says how important. So you get a new map, the facility, new customization options, and a new ghost type, the Glutton, which is that one from the new film. It's got a fan favorite Mulcher variation. That's the one that eats all the metal in the new Ghostbusters film that's just come out. Explore equipment loadouts with new gear like belt gizmo and destructor pylons, and feel the improvements to matchmaking alongside smarter AI companions. Nice. So owners of the original game will receive the new content for free as well. So that's pretty cool. And this is just the start. They've been talking about a ton of updates and sort of improvements they want to add. So yeah, definitely check that out, guys, because I really enjoyed Ghostbusters. I just didn't play it enough because it came out at a time when there was so much out.
There was a lot out, yeah. David Curran has a question for you there, Ash. That's one you can answer.
Will SpongeBob Cosmic Shake come to Game Pass? I would hope it does at some point. Do you know what? I think it's one of those games that would really work well in Game Pass. And they clearly have a decent relationship with THQ because we've had quite a lot of THQ games. We had like Darksiders. We've had the other SpongeBob game and stuff like that. So I hope so. And they need more kids games. I know it doesn't appeal to like the hardcore adult gamer, but you need more games to pull in the kids. And if you want to start selling a family plan, you need some family games on there for everyone to want to play, and everyone of all ages and genres and stuff. But so far, like I say, I've played about an hour and a half of Cosmic Shake so far. I finished the first main world and the tutorial. It's not bad. It looks great compared to the. It looks way better than Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. All the voice cast is there, the proper voice cast and stuff. The plot's a bit wishy-washy like, but so far it's enjoyable enough. It's got slight changes, but it does feel very familiar. But I'll be doing a full review next week once I've finished it, because I'll play through the story first, and then I'll go back and sweep up all the collectibles for achievements. Doesn't seem to be as collectible enough and laid out like the other game, though, which was much more like platformy level layout. This one, it's very, I don't want to say linear, but like in the first level, you're jumping from place to place to place. You can go back to it. Like when you finish it, it's like you can jump to wherever you want to go and explore. But in the original one, you could re-walk the entire area pretty much of each of the levels, whereas you can't really do that in this one. Or at least you can't in the first world, which is like a cowboy-themed one. So, yeah, it's not bad. It's fun. I expect a review on it at some point in the coming week, either video or written, I'm not sure yet. And, hit that like button. Let everyone know. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, because like I say, it always helps us. And you'll get notifications when we go live, which does work, because when we go live, I now get email notifications, I've noticed, for this, which is cool. Yeah. And if you really want to support us, you can join the channel as a member for 99p. You get brand new member-only videos every Saturday. So we've got one going live on Saturday, and this week it's going to be the Xbox Oreo, some sort of episode about them, like what you get with them and stuff like that. And then next week is going to be another tier list, and you can also vote on stuff like that. We've got a question up for members at the moment, and we're going to be doing. Thimba put some suggestions for some tier lists about Xbox and Halo and those sort of franchises. So I've added it to my list, and I'll be working through them over the next month for March videos. So yeah, it costs nothing. Costs less than a big bar of chocolate. You've already got 4 exclusive videos now, and there'll be another one tomorrow and every Saturday going forward. So lots of content. Awesome.
Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all we've got time for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you have tuned in, we really appreciate you showing up and showing the support and stuff. Good turnout tonight. Lots of people in chat. Love to see it. We'll be back next week, same time, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time for episode 46. And the PSN Party Podcast is back on a Wednesday. I believe that's an 8:30 start on a Wednesday, Greenwich Mean Time. So make sure you swing by and tune in for that. And don't forget to drop by and check out all the reviews that Ash is doing throughout the week. Honestly, the man never stops. And yeah, have a good week. We'll see you next week. All the best.
Later, guys.